I just feel it's warmer here and Hi, good evening. Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm fine, Sophia. How are you, Sophia? How are you, Katie? Sophia, besties. What I want you to talk. Drop your name. Drop your name. Before you know it, now I don't spread. Hey, hi guys. Hope we are good. Hi, Sophia. Hope you're good. I miss you too, Kathy. Please, let's like. I know Sophia's like. Sophia knows how to, go about it. So I'm seeing only one like here. So I just think that's Sophia's like. Thank you so much. Please let's like and subscribe. Let's dive into it this lovely evening in UK. Why are you so cute? Kathy, I don't know either. Honestly, I don't know. You're gorgeous as well. Why are you so gorgeous, Kathy? Why? I will sub to you. Thank you so much. Guys, come on in. Hope you had an amazing day. Come on in, come on in. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Yeah, let's drop our name. My day was fine, thank you. You're stunning as well. You all are looking gorgeous. Can I see you? Yes, I can see you. How? Through your names. You all are looking gorgeous. Look at the names. Pretty names. All right, I'll start from Sophia. Sophia came in first and she won't type again. I'm not even seeing her now. Oh my days. A big shout out to Sophia. And a big shout out to Kathy. Kathy is the second person, so I can now pick randomly. Let's go. Please drop your name back to back. I'll give you a big shout out. And don't forget to like. Oh, you can see the like is very tiny. I have very tiny like. Very small. So let's go like. Please, let's take the like up. Thank you. A big shout out to Kim. A big shout out to Arabella. A big shout out to Barbara. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Recto. A big shout out to Alahali. A big shout-out to Annette. A big shout-out to Era. A big shout-out to Bali. A big shout-out to Yara Yara. A big shout-out to Mohammed. A big shout-out to Afnet. A big shout-out to Nevi. A big shout-out to Amina. You're welcome. A big shout-out to Sophie. A big shout-out to Ocean. A big shout-out to Maya. A big shout-out to Joda. A big shout-out to Enzo. A big shout-out to Mara. A big shout-out to Rosa. Shout-out to Yusuf. Shout-out to Nasa. Big shout-out to Blue Blair. My day went well, good. A big shout-out to Hashni. A big shout-out to Elle Honora. A big shout-out to Blena. A big shout-out to Leon. Guys, let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Clock it. A big shout-out to Namid. A big shout-out to Ashant. A big shout-out to Mota. A big shout-out to Eden. A big shout-out to Jaden. A big shout-out to Yasin. A big shout-out to Kami. A big shout-out to Valerie. A big shout-out to Juanvita. A big shout-out to London. A big shout-out to Yusuf. A big shout-out to Adam. Shout-out to Dasha. Shout-out to Dasha. Shout-out to Elani. Shout-out to Cardwheel. Shout-out to Ridley. Shout-out to Paige. Shout-out to Colin. Hi, Colin. Shout-out to Natasha. Shout-out to Juicy. Shout-out to Delena. Shout-out to Flo and Flory. Shout-out to Poppy. Besties. Shout-out to Sarah. A big shout-out to Valeria. A big shout-out to me. A big shout-out to Jack. A big shout-out to Alina. A big shout-out to Lucy. A big shout-out to Ramaphosa. Hi from South Africa. Nice to meet you. Please like and sub. Thank you so much. A big shout-out to Fena. A big shout-out to Flo. A big shout-out to Vincent. A big shout-out to Nia. A big shout-out to Shalom. A big shout-out to Ken Lee. I sub. Thank you for subbing. A big shout-out to Abby. Shout-out to Allen. Shout-out to Lucas. Shout-out to Eva. Shout-out to Aleona. Shout-out to Elijah. Shout-out to Devon. Shout-out to Amelia. You're pretty. You all are gorgeous as well. Thank you so much. Shout-out to Valerie. Shout-out to Isla. Shout-out to Relay. Shout-out to Poppy. Shout-out to Anya. Shout-out to Aisha. Shout-out to Banchan. Shout-out to Daniel. Shout-out to Dayon. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Zoya. Shout out to Israel. Guys, let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Back to back. I love your hearts. Thank you so much. Please, let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Rohina. A big shout out to Jama. Shout out to Kitty. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Natat. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Demi. Shout out to Zizi. Shout out to Maddox. Shout out to Rakshi. Shout out to Agate. Shout out to Hela. Thank you so much. Shout out to Holly. Shout out to Starly. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Janet. Shout out to Zilly. Shout out to Zuzu. Shout out to Bianca. Shout out to Arabella. Shout out to Namili. Shout out to Lena. Shout out to Deya. Shout out to Bibi. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Aya. Your heart is gorgeous. Thank you so much. Let's go. Shout out to Shani. Shout out to Nahina. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Yanis. Shout out to Tumi. Shout out to Yanis. Shout out to Catalina. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Helia. Shout out to Hasma. Shout out to Amber. Guys, please, let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for saying my name. Oh, no worries. Anytime. A big shout out to Ambet. Shout out to George. Shout out to Rumi. Shout out to Yanis. Shout out to George. Shout out to Catalina. Shout out to Eve. A big shout out to Omotara. A big shout out to Jamie. A big shout out to Adams. A big shout out to Skylar. A big shout out to G-Win. A big shout out to Anne. A big shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Judy. Shout out to Hellis. Shout out to Ocean. I'm good, thank you, Vera. Shout out to Jessica. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Ida. Thank you so much for subbing. Thank you for subscribing. Guys, please, let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take some seconds to like and sub. Thank you. A big shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Aris. Shout out to Judy. Love your heart. Actually smart. Thank you so much. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Holly. Yeah, guys, I just dropped a video, a photo, a fashion arc. Yeah, a video just some hours before I begin the live, so you can pop in and have a look. It's a simple and gorgeous arc. It is absolutely pretty, you know, so you can have a look, drop your comments and give me a thumbs up. All right, guys, let's go back. A big shout out to Lucas. A big shout out to Daniela. A big shout out to Nini, Vinny. A big shout out to Jillian. A big shout out to Abella. A big shout out to Shayna. A big shout out to Wazan. A big shout out to Hessie. A big shout out to Abella. Thank you for subbing, Abella. A big shout out to Alice. A big shout out to Kemora. A big shout out to 67. Oh, 67, no. A big shout out to Lila. A big shout out to Poppy. A big shout out to Michael. A big shout out to Zoha. A big shout out to Sasu. Shout out to Luke. Thank you for subbing. Thank you. A big shout out to Jeremy. A big shout out to Bella. Shout out to Yarin. Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to Steamer. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Me Song. Thank you so much. Please let's drop our comments on the videos, okay? I miss you. I miss you too, my darling. Thank you so much. Thank you for subbing. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for liking and thank you for subbing. Let's keep going. My dad passed away. Oh, may he so rest in peace. Yeah. A big shout out to Jonaya. A big shout out to Dari. Thank you for subbing. A big shout out to Ashley. A big shout out to Tali. Shout out to Letty. Shout out to Lee. Shout out to Zoha. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kato. Shout out to Mackenzie. Shout out to Letty. Your mom's passed. May her soul rest in peace. Thank you. A big shout out to Angelique. A big shout out to Rosie. Shout out to Arceli. Shout out to Cleo. Shout out to Elara. Shout out to Metab. Shout out to Helias. Shout out to Shireen. Thank you so much. Shout out to Margaret. Shout out to Elas. Shout out to Melis. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Tiana. Chloe, how did you know it was Chloe I was about to say, but I said something else. I was just like thinking about it. I said, why am I getting it muddled up? But thank God I got it. A big shout out to Poppy. A big shout out to Hella. My name is Essie. A big shout out to Melissa. But if you like, you can call me Kiki. That's because that's my channel's name, Kiki. So a big shout out to Aya. A big shout out to Chili. A big shout out to Lila. A big shout out to Lila. A big shout out to Hannah. A big shout out to Lauren. A big shout out to Greta. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Audrey. Please let's go like and sub. Back to back. Clock it. Those that know me a very, very long time, they know what I say. Clock it. So when they come, I see the comment section, I find clock it. You know that person is an old subscriber. Okay. Clock it. Let's go. A big shout out to I'm not even seeing anything now. Okay. See Hannah. A big shout out to Reputropy. You want me to bite my tongue? Okay. A big shout out to Maya. A big shout out to Nicholas. A big shout out to Oni. A big shout out to Grace. A big shout out to Poppy. Guys, I'm back. Guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. A big shout out to Stitch. A big shout out to Lilac. A big shout out to Ben Nijas. A big shout out to Lilac. A big shout out to Lincoln. Yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go. Drop your names. Hello, cutie. Hi. A big shout out to Lola. A big shout out to Lewis. A big shout out to Amelia. A big shout out to Mina. A big shout out to Sarah. A big shout out to Ginger Garrett. A big shout out to Dina. A big shout out to Naza. Okay. A big shout out to Electra. A big shout out to Reina. A big shout out to Lilac. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Loli. Shout out to Issa. Shout out to Taylor. Please, if you're coming in again, can you please go like and sub? Just for those that haven't like and sub, please go like and sub. If you're just coming in, please let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, a big shout out to Lassie. A big shout out to Amelia. A big shout out to Jama. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Saman. Shout out to Lassie. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Annabelle. Shout out to Isla. Shout out to Reina. Please drop your names. Shout out to Safia. Shout out to me. Shout out to Josie. Shout out to Batio. Shout out to Safia. Shout out to Candy. Shout out to Gojo. Shout out to Zoha. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Zoha. Shout out to Janet. Shout out to Marcin. Shout out to Isla. Shout out to Chelsea. Shout out to Hima. Shout out to Nera. Shout out to Princess Tracy. Thank you so much. Shout out to Susanna. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Judith. Shout out to Warona. Shout out to Marcin. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Jane. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Lena. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Malika. Hi, my darling Helen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leila. Happy birthday to you. A big shout out to Warona. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Arcel. Shout out to Clementine. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Matteo. Oh, lovely. Holly. That's nice to hear about your daughter. Oh, February 3rd. Yeah, you wait till then. When it's your birthday, anytime it's your birthday, come, I will sing happy birthday for you, okay? But please, let it be your birthday, okay? I don't sing for, I don't sing for, how will I put it? I sing for you. So when you come, I sing for you. A big shout out to Ariana. A big shout out to Nicole. No, not your birthday. Big shout out to Rehealing. I know people start saying it's my birthday. No, please, let's stop. Let's be sincere for once. A big shout out to Rahili. A big shout out to Tessa. A big shout out to Adeba. A big shout out to Well. A big shout out to Nika. A big shout out to Carly. A big shout out to Candy. A big shout out to Rihan. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Cardi. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Jisoo. Shout out to Carly. It's mine. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Robbie. Thank you so much. If it's your birthday, write your name. Shout out to Kalalina. Shout out to Cherish. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Brinson. Yusuf, thank you so much. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Hassad. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Baran. Shout out to Livy. Shout out to Freya. Shout out to Anika. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Natasha. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Blackburn. Shout out to Jacqueline. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Catalina. Shout out to Zoe Sandova. Yes, I'm having a good day, Harley. And you? Big shout out to Lila. Big shout out to Emilia Lara. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Hano. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Rahikuya. Shout out to Tabo. Shout out to Hana. Yes, I'm having a good day. And you? Kono. Shout out to Jasmine. Thank you so much. Shout out to Markai. You're welcome, Haley. Shout out to Heaven. Shout out to Margarita. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Jasmine. Good to know. Shout out to Annabelle. Shout out to Ian. Oh, thank you, Haley's. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Alena. Shout out to Notado. Shout out to Iliana. Better. New subscriber. Hi. Please drop your name if you are new. Drop your name quickly. I'll give you a shout. Shout out to Malika. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Binapi. Shout out to Angel. Oh, thank you so much, Alice. Thank you. Shout out to Malika. Shout out to Talia. Shout out to Mila. Thanks for subbing. Thank you. Shout out to Kinley. Shout out to Malika. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Malika. Happy birthday to you. A big shout out to Mia. Shout out to Liv. Shout out to Mina. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Blackpink. Shout out to Leidna. Shout out to Betty. Shout out to Tony, Jasmine, Nasi. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Mina. All right, Haley. Yeah, I'll wait for you. Shout out to Autumn. Thank Autumn for subbing. Shout out to Lydia. Please, can we go like and sub? Yeah, you see. Let's like the live. Let's like. Let's use 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds to. All right. Bye, my darling. Just 10 seconds to, yeah, to like and sub. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you for my birthday. No worries. As long as it's really your birthday, you know. But if it's not, no point. It won't be interesting and not nice. Please, let's take the likes up. Thank you. Luwam, please like and sub. Thank you. Bestie, can I ask you? Yeah, ask. But I don't always answer questions during my life, as in at the middle of my life. I used to ask the question almost at the end. I used to answer questions almost at the end of the life. I just use like 5 minutes, yeah, for question and answers. But you can ask since I have asked you to. A big shout out to Gerard. That's my son. That's the name of my son. A big shout out to Malika. And yeah, my son just said some of his classmates watch me stream. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. So yeah, he just told me that yeah, some of his classmates watch me stream, blah blah blah. I said, oh, that's cool, nice to know. So guys, come on in. If you're his classmates, let's subscribe, like, and share the live to your friends. It's a free word, okay? So the reason for the live stream is, the reason for the stream is, you know, to give you guys a shout out, just to brighten your day, just to feel good. Evening shout out, morning shout out, afternoon shout out. Wow. Amazing. So I need my accolades, isn't it? I need my flowers. All right, let's dive into it. A big shout out to Mira. A big shout out to Oli. A big shout out to Azara. A big shout out to Anya. A big shout out to Adelina. I know your son. I am his classmate. Oh, clock it, girl. Clock it. So what's your name? Nice to meet you, my darling. Okay, big shout out to Lucas. Please drop your name. Let me give you a shout out. Special shout out to my son's classmates. And make sure you take good care of him, as in look after him, and make sure he's fine in class. Because I'm giving you a shout out, okay? A big shout out to Lolo. A big shout out to Mulan. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Ezra. A big shout out to Mulan. Let me go back to that comment. Yeah, I want to show. Okay, I got that. A big shout out to Lucas. A big shout out to Jade. A big shout out to Lilian. Guys, let's go. Drop your names. Yeah, drop your names. A big shout out to Caitlin. So, do you remember me from the last live? Yes, I do, my darling. Yeah. But how old is your son for? I don't know. If you're in his class, you should know his age. I love your video. Thank you so much. Oh, Hellis. Hi, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages and you have become so successful. Oh, thank you so much, Hellis. I've been looking for you, my darling. Where have you been? You know, I always say, when you subscribe, please click on the notification button. So when I come live, you will see me. Helly, hope you are good. A big shout out to Hassan. I'm sorry, I've been busy. Okay, girl, no worries. Clock it. That's okay, that's fine. A big shout out to Dine. A big shout out to Darwin. Yeah, no worries, Ellie. No worry, Ellie. Okay. A big shout out to Helly. It's been a while. She has been here. Yeah, we miss you so much. A big shout out to Nicki Minaj. So we have Nicki Minaj here, fortunately. You made my day better. Oh, thank you so much, Dine. A big shout out to Salah. Yes, I remember you. A big shout out to Ivy. A big shout out to Sabrina. A big shout out to Riza. A big shout out to Jessica. A big shout out to Amia. Shout out to Millicent. Hi. Shout out to Christine. Hi, darling. Shout out to Valerie. Hi. Yeah, just been busy. A big shout out to Marcos. A big shout out to Alana. Shout out to Lucy. A big shout out to Kiki. A big shout out to Amia. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Marcos. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Boo. 'Shout out to Sophia. 'Shout 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 out to Boo. 'Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Kiki for being the best YouTuber ever. Aww, Clark it, girl. Thank you so much for that. You are so beautiful. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Kayla. A big shout out to Lolo. Shout out to Holly. Shout out to Taron. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Clarky, Ellis. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Caris. Shout out to Judy Lana. Shout out to your lovely sister Holly. Shout out to Galaxy. Shout out to Melucy. Shout out to Star. Shout out to Non. Shout out to Nia. Shout out to Happy. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Lucy. Louise. Shout out to me. Yeah, thank you. I'll be spam when I joined the live. I would. Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you. And yeah, that's a great help. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lucia. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Sarah. So, Elise, if I may ask, how many subscribers, do we have? Then, how many subscribers when you joined? A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Hella. Shout out to Nana. Shout out to Yaya. I subscribe. Thank you so much. Shout out to Goody. Shout out to Claudia. No, the question is, Ellie, as in when you joined this channel, how many subscribers was I having? Yeah, just a question. Shout out to Dehija. Shout out to Charlotte. Oh, thank you so much. Shout out to William. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to me, Rian. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Charlene. Shout out to Joy. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Maya. Let's go. Shout out to Jasmine. You guys are having gorgeous, gorgeous name. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. I have made it this far. Oh, thank you so much, my darling. When Ellis joined, we were 158. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you've made it this far. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. So Ellis is one of my very old subscribers. I was just 158 when she joined. Yeah, so I really appreciate you, my darling. You know how we started, you know, how everything was. It wasn't that rosy, it wasn't, but yeah, we are still here. Thank you. I love you too. A big shout out to Lily. No, your name can't be Didi. No. A big shout out to Anna. A big shout out to Sam. A big shout out to Jasmine. Yeah. What's the name of your cousin? Can I have his name? Oh, okay. Big shout out to your cousin. He's watching. A big shout out to Anna. A big shout out to Sam. A big shout out to Emma. A big shout out to Caroline. A big shout out to Aliyah. A big shout out to Nico. Shout out to Malika. How do you make people watch your life? I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah, I just do what I do. So if they like it, fine. If they don't like it, so a big shout out to Aliyah. A big shout out to Dolly. So yeah, that's it. A big shout out to Silly. A big shout out to Nevada. A big shout out to Malika. Please tell me what to do in it. Yeah, just do what you love. Yeah, do what you love. Yeah. Everyone might not like it, but the few people will like it. Yeah, just do what you love, okay? I helped you because I made a speech every life, and people listen because now you have. Oh, thank you so much, Ellie. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. A big shout out to Sophia. A big shout out to Connor. Shout out to Bara. Yeah, you are right, Ellie. Shout out to E. Morgan. Shout out to Eliza. Shout out to Bara. Shout out to Eliza. Oh, Malika, thank you, my darling. A big shout out to Blessing. I just hope you don't get tired of me. But how will I put it? I'll look up to you anyways, as in, I'll be hoping to see you every day, yeah. A big shout out to Rahi. A big shout out to Olivia. A big shout out to Kelinita. A big shout out to your daddy and your mama, Nicole and Dami. A big shout out to Vinny. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Caitlin. Thank you so much, Malika. That's I will like what I don't know. That's good. And I'm happy about that. Yeah, it was your birthday today, isn't it? Happy birthday day. A big shout out to Oya. A big shout out to Lebongak. Yeah, I'm okay, my darling. And you? Are you okay, Melissa? A big shout out to Melissa. Hi, you pretty. Thank you. Shout out to Martha. Shout out to Harper. Guys, let's drop our names. Let's go like and sub. Thank you so much. Can we just take 10? Can we take 10 seconds? Thank you so much. Please, can we take 10 seconds to go like and to sub? If you haven't sub, yeah, if you haven't sub and like, please just 10 seconds. Not up to 10 seconds is done. Okay, so let's go. Let me just give you a little time to do it. Fastest fingers. Poo, 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 poo. Let's go. Clock it. All right, my darling Ellis. That'll be tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow. Okay. A big shout out to ECR Ekrin. A big shout out to Ekrin. Yes, I do. A big shout out to Amit. A big shout out to Zakari. A big shout out to Poppy. All right. Have a good night, darling. A big shout out to Florence. A big shout out to Jamis. Jasmine. A big shout out to Claire. A big shout out to Joshua. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just a chorister. So yeah, I sing at the church. A big shout out to Ahimi. A big shout out to Ayana. She's back. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. You're welcome. A big shout out to Mata. A big shout out to Joshua. A big shout out to Rizuka. A big shout out to Winika. A big shout out to Damla. Shout out to Mata. Shout out to Neva. Shout out to Winiza. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Alexander. Shout out to Damla. Oh, I missed you too, Kuhaid. Where have you been? You've been busy all month. Round the clock. A big shout out to Mark. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Richard. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Umi. I've been on holiday to Hawaii. Oh, hope you're having a nice time over there and you're having fun. Bless you. Yeah, I've missed you all. I've missed you all. But just hope you enjoy your time there. A big shout out to Bora. A big shout out to Rema. Big shout out to Lena. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Nia. Ah, you got bitten by a shark cries. What was that? Is it real shark? You mean fish? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. A big shout out to Nima. A big shout out to Rosie. A big shout out to Sam. A big shout out to Niam. A big shout out to Rizuka. I don't know how to sing, honestly. I only sing when I'm in a particular place. Yeah. And the place I can sing is the church with the hymn book. Yeah, I think I'm more comfortable there. A big shout out to Jessica. Yeah, not that I can't sing here, but I'm not just in the mood. Yeah, you have to be in the mood before you can. Yeah, you can sing. A big shout out to Jace. A big shout out to Momo. A big shout out to Skylar. Are you from South Africa? No, Bong. I'm from Nigeria. We hear the I hope of their la la. That was not the national anthem we were singing last year. So it's now a new national anthem, and I've not learned it. The national anthem of my country, I've not learned it. It's a lot to learn, as in, it's a shame that I haven't learned, but it's new, not my fault. Oh, so guys, let's go. A big shout out to Lama. A big shout out to Hana. A big shout out to Sukuna. A big shout out to Yowaimo. Lovely names. You love my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I remember you. Thank you. Guys, let's go. A big shout out to Olivia. A big shout out to Lam. Shout out to Millie. No, I can't sing now, please. A big shout out to Hava. A big shout out to Aurelius. A big shout out to Exia. I'm almost on all your live stream. Really? Wow, that's good. Thank you. Oh. A big shout out to Atos. A big shout out to Gadisa. A big shout out to Hassan. I go live by clicking on the live button. A big shout out to Joshua. I'm good, thank you. A big shout out to Vega. A big shout out to Kenza. A big shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to Ruzuka. No, Ziruka. No, shout out to Miriam. Shout out to Mayama. Shout out to David. Shout out to Adina. Shout out to Wazi. Thank you so much. Shout out to Killiam. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Marianne. Shout out to Agapao. Guys, please, I need 8 amazing person to please take the likes to 100. Thank you so much. I just need 8 beautiful, amazing soul to take the likes to 100. Thank you, my gorgeous. And also to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Yeah, I need amazing, 8 amazing person to please like. Thank you. A big shout out to Ava. A big shout out to Aga Pao. A big shout out to Pierre. A big shout out to Alice. A big shout out to Donia. Thank you. A big shout out to David. A big shout out to Joshua. A big shout out to Lala. A big shout out to Lila. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Malika. Shout out to Natasha. I love you. Please shout out. Shout out to Hollis. You're welcome. Guys, please, I need 2 amazing person to please like for me. Just two. Let's go. A big shout out to Lily. A big shout out to Lee Chimmy. You are so pretty. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Kilam. A big shout out to Leonoren. A big shout out to Shreya. A big shout out to Leah. A big shout out to Cody. A big shout out to Bella. Yeah, thank you so much. We just got to 100 likes. Clock it. Thank you so much. We are all amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Please let's go like and sub. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A big shout out to Mano. A big shout out to Tommy. A big shout out to Yasmi. What eyeliner do I use? This one. Uh, it's a dark liner. I don't think it's a brand. I don't think it's a name. There's any name. Yeah. KOHL eyeliner. KOHL. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I use that one. I don't know. Don't know how to. Don't know if you can see it. So that's what I use. Okay. A big shout out to Mano. A big shout out to Sam. A big shout out to Lenny. Hi. A big shout out to Grace. There's a lot of names. A big shout out to Allegra, Dean, Jack, Mariah, and Anna. They are all my fans. Thank you so much, all of you, everyone. A big shout out to Iuli. Or Iuli. I'm not good with names, so never mind. A big shout out to, please apologies if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Yeah, apologies. You can help me pronounce it like, yeah, just a big shout out to Esme. Okay, a big shout out to Esme. Thank you. I used to say Esme. A big shout out to Tamana. A big shout out to Yuli. It's better. I think it's better that way. If I'm not pronouncing it well, you can just type the right way to sound it. Yeah, it will help me. Okay, thank you so much. A big shout out to Lily. Big shout out to Carla or Kayla. A big shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Esme. Shout out to Kayla. Happy birthday to your daughter. Thank you so much, Leona. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Malika. You're so pretty and kind. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to Liv. Shout out to James. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Annie or Isabel. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Jean. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Rubin. Shout out to Theo. I can sing. Not bad. Yeah, I can sing. If you ask, can you sing? Yeah, I can sing, but not too good. I'm not a professional singer. Yeah, I can manage. I sing in the choir, so I know my parts very well. I just know my part. I can't just how do they call it? I can't harmonize. Just teach me my part. I'm fine. So I sing soprano. So that's it. No, I can't sing now. Not on this life. A big shout out to Jackson. A big shout out to Leona. A big shout out to Zoe. A big shout out to Leona. He said, not Lena. A big shout out to Gina. A big shout out to Kayla. A big shout out to Michael. Shout out to Sonia. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Malika. Shout out to Leela. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Lee. Guys, let's go like and sub. Cheers. Cheers to better days. Cheers to lovely. Cheers to this live stream. Cheers to good life. Shout out to Holly. Shout out to Melvin. Shout out to Fena. Shout out to Zozo. Cheers. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Paris. Guys, I posted a video today. It's a simple fashion arc. Yeah, you can go have a look. It's just like probably 2 hours ago. And it is, yeah, you can have a look at the video if it's nice. You like it, pretty, gorgeous. You put down your comments. Yeah, you put it on a comment. Let me know you actually watched it. Yeah, put it on the comments. Good. Yeah, please be nice. Be nice with your comments. Yeah, so I will know you actually watch it. Okay, so let's go. Drop your names. A big shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Arison. Clark Tolly. Shout out to Isabella. Hope you're good. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Denelli. No. Delani. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Rami. I don't know what clock hits means. I don't know. Probably perfect. Like, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Something positive, sure, yeah. But I don't know. Don't know the meaning. Probably I'll go ask Chat GPT. Big shout out to Juju. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Dor Natsin. Shout out to Abego. This person is from Nigeria, I swear to God. It might be Abeg you no go. I don't know how to pronounce it, Pride. Abego. That's a pidgin English. A big shout out to Michela. A big shout out to Bella. Shout out to Joshua. Thank you for liking and for subbing. Shout out to Marie. Shout out to Hella. Shout out to Rami. Shout out to Alessia. Shout out to Rachel. Guys, please let's go like and sub. Let's go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Let's give ourselves like 5 seconds and we'll be back. Hello, hi, Arison. Hope you're good. A big shout out to Mila. Oh, 2 seconds, please. 1 and 2. Let's go. Drop your names. My mom is in the live stream. Oh, hi, Mama Harrison. Hope you're good. Clock it, Mama. Clock it. A big shout out to your mom, Harrison. You can drop her name. Let me give her a shout, okay? Yeah, a big shout out to Musab. A big shout out to Gracie. Big shout out to Grey Who. A big shout out to Mila. A big shout out to Saki. A big shout out to Sophia. A big shout out to Nee Joshua. A big shout out to Ollie. A big shout out to Sima. Hi, Queen. Hi, gorgeous. Hope you're good. A big shout out to Mena. A big shout out to Demi. A big shout out to Dijots. A big shout out to Navo. Big shout out to Lila. Shout out to Demi. Shout out to Nano. Shout out to Ayesha. Shout out to Marcelo. Shout out to Young Gamma. Shout out to Saki. Shout out to Hollis. Shout out to Abu. Shout out to Lani. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Soma. Shout out to Nasi. Shout out to Corrado. Guys, please, let's go like and sub. Let's take 5 seconds to like and sub. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Please, let's go like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go, 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 go. Please, guys, can we just put our hands on like button and the sub button? Thank you so much. La, 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 la. I'm waiting, yeah. I'm just waiting for people that are doing it. When it's time, we'll go back. Please, let's exercise little patience. I'm waiting for people that are liking and subbing. Please, if you're just coming, please just come in. Let's like and sub. Thank you so much. We are all having fun here, and I'm happy doing it over and over again. You look like Ashan from Baby Monster. Oh, I won't watch it. Ashion from Baby Monster. I've not watched it. Yeah, I'll just go have a look, okay? Okay, guys, have we like and sub? Thank you so much. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back. Please drop your names now. Yeah, drop your names now. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Joshua. A big shout out to Daniela. A big shout out to Oli. A big shout out to Lucico. Thank you. Big shout out to Braden. A big shout out to Ayesha. Thank you so much. I love. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Sophia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Ola. A big shout out to Reka. Shout out to Lo Yisku. Shout out to Faith. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Nasi. Shout out to Ola. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Edith. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Manon. Shout out to Ola. Shout out to Yongama. Shout out to Yoche. Shout out to Kiki. Thank you so much. Shout out to Nasty. Shout out to India. Shout out to Mano. Shout out to Rabia. Hi. Shout out to you, Maria. Shout out to Farah. Shout out to Yaya. Shout out to Sawa. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Abdi. Shout out to Mackenzie. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Mimi. Shout out to Veronica. Shout out to Lena. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Kashin. Shout out to Kida. Shout out to Lara. You're welcome. Shout out to Mohammed. Shout out to Scarlett, Darren. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Maha. Shout out to Fidha. Shout out to Koti. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Jode. Jordan Lee. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Daniela. You're welcome. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Candy. Shout out to Dakota. Shout out to Joanna. Shout out to Kirisha. Yes, I remember you. Yes, I do. Shout out to Alima. Okay, Alina. Shout out to Jola. Oma. Mia. Sophie. Scarlett. Esila. Matthew. Rui. Ama. Esila. Pipi. Avnet. Lily. Florence. Mustafa. Kirisha. Kimberly. Haley. Cleo. Steve. Mona. Kiana. Nicolette. Me. Tala. Jack. Lucy. Jake. Mohammed. Lola. Anis. Zot. Esila. Talia. Jade. Zoya. Holly. Lizzie. Tali. Nana. Shamama. Tala. Nicolette. Thank you so much. Kirishka. Chase. Reza. Rida. Esila. Holly. Lola. Jasmine. Muhammad. Esila. Kalalelo. Blackley. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Cleo. Kirisha, Kirishka, Muhammad, Lizzie, Melissa, Ava, Sot, Sat. Thank you so much. Esila, Sedi. Thank you so much. Elene, Esila, Esia, Oh, AJ, Dennis, David, Taco, Visa. You're welcome. Tilly. Thank you for sobbing. Thank you. Nika. Thank you so much. Esila. Mahani. Thank you so much. Cornelia. Desi. Marita. Jake. Thank you so much. Kelly. Thank you so much. Muhammad. Amelia. Ava. Adriana. Bella. Josmili. Ava. Trinity. Audi. Josmili. Eva. Grace. Mihili. Eba. Ahali. Not now. Guys, if you have any question, let it be at the end of this live stream. Yeah, I'll give 5 minutes for your questions. But now we are giving everyone a shout out, please. A big shout out to Joshua, Eva, Sebien, Esila, Mano,